Hi guys, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to look at this Portulacaria afra. Um, this is kind of a part two of my previous video where I talked about, developing trees from branch cuttings. Not just a small cutting, something like this or even bigger, but to where it was almost a fully developed branch on a larger tree. And then you cut it off, root it, and then you end up with a tree with some age to it. As you can see, we've got some roughness to this bark, and this one's kind of a unique shape. I just kind of took what the tree gave me. Like I said, this was a branch, and like the other previous video, I talked about how it was grown. This one was kind of like this on the tree. So it was coming out off the tree and growing as a branch. So one side was pretty flat because this was initially the underneath side of the branch. But I've been growing it out and trying to balance out the tree, which I think I've kind of done that, because you can see the front to back is somewhat balanced. Kind of a unique shape. I'm not sure what you would call this, and I'm not sure where I'm going with it yet. Initially, I thought about taking off all of these branches on the right side and just kind of having it kind of a cascading sort of thing off to the left. But then I thought, keep them, even though it kind of looks like a pinwheel, but we can work with that, and then just kind of develop it into, to where it's got kind of a dome umbrella shape, or even more of a triangular shape. But so I think that's what I'm going to try for initially, but who knows. Next year when I look at it again, I may decide to take some branches off. But I think for today we're just going to continue pruning it, because it was kind of leggy when I potted it up a year or so ago, and I've been just chopping it back and letting it kind of fill in, and it's filling in decent. It still has a ways to go, but let's just get pruning on it and see what the underneath looks like. Like I said, I think I'm going initially with kind of a dome shape. So we'll see how bare it is once I start pruning some of these branches back. That's what's fun about having quite a few trees, and that's not meant to brag. It's just I've been doing it for a while, and Portulacaria are so easy to root that you can very easily, over just a few years, end up with a lot of trees. But so I'm fortunate to have done that, and you just kind of take these unique shaped ones and have fun with them, and that's what bonsai is to me. Yes, there's formal rules and guidelines and all that stuff, but I just like the caring for trees, growing them in these small containers, and having fun with it. And learning a little bit more as I go. Seems like with each new tree, each new cut, you learn more. Each new season, keeping them alive and healthy through the winter time. You can learn a lot from the internet and YouTube and things like that, but I think the best education is jumping in and start working on trees, because there's so many variables. Just answering basic questions like, how often should I water, what kind of soil should I use, and all that stuff. That there's so many variables that there's no one right answer. What's right for me, living in north central Texas in zone 8B, my trees go outside 1st of April and they come in late October, and my watering is probably different from somebody that lives in the Northwest or Michigan or something like that, because the climate's different and just so many things are different. So you can get a good base understanding, but I think the best is just jumping in and, like I said, taking care of your own trees, experimenting with them, and just having fun. And this one over here, I've got these, this almost needs twisted over like that, kind of rotated, which I think I might try to do that, because I really like these two branches over there. But let's see if this is going to be strong enough to get the job done. I might need to get a little bit thicker piece of wire to do the twisting. I don't know, this may, we'll try this one. So what I'm going to do is just kind of probably anchor it up on this branch here, and then come on out. And if I twist that one over, I think it'll bring that front one up. We'll give that a shot. So I'll go up here. I'd end up with some crossing wires, but just don't tell anybody. My wiring is, like I said, I try to follow some principles of wiring, but I don't get too hung up on it. I kind of do what works for me. Try to keep my hands out of the way. Get caught up on what I'm doing and forget I'm recording sometimes. All right, so once you get the wire on like that, you can just kind of twist it over, and then just kind of bring that branch to where they're both horizontal now, because they were, you know, up and down, and now they're both pretty horizontal. So it's kind of a useful tip on those of you that like to wire, because I know some people don't like to wire, they just like to strictly do clip and grow, which is fine. But this just saves some time, to where, because if I would have clipped that bottom off, I'd have been left with one, but now I've got all of this space almost immediately developed by being able to utilize both branches. So that's just what I do anyway, because I don't mind wiring. I'm just going to take some of this top growth back a little bit more. Like I said, I'm going for this loosely shaped dome on the top. Get this branch here that's kind of drooping down, but I don't think I really need to wire it yet. Yeah, that's, like I said, it's kind of a unique shape with all the different branches and the curve, but like I said, I take what the tree gives me, or in this case, what the branch gave me before I potted it up. And it's not a bad little tree. The price was right anyway. Didn't cost me anything other than a little bit of soil in an old pot that I had laying around. ahead and take these back a little bit more. Like I said, this may be a little anemic looking until some of these kind of grow back in, but that's what you got to do. Just kind of prune it back and let it grow back out to get the ramification. Yeah, the overall shape of this, I'm happy with kind of the dome shape, and then once these start filling in, I think it'll be a nice little tree. So I think that's just going to about do it for today. Maybe take off some of these downward facing leaves, but like I said, I think that actually I've got this branch back here that is growing down, and there's really no way to rotate that because I've got the other branches up there. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. There we go. And eventually, if I get some growth up in the top, I could bring that branch down a little bit more for a better looking back branch. But yeah, I think if I could bring this down into there somewhere, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Let's see what it looks like from this side. Yeah, because it's kind of hanging out here in the back. So if I bring it in a little closer like that, I think I might go ahead and do that just so I can get it hardened off there in place. So maybe when I look at it again in the spring or summer, it'll already be positioned to where I want it. Use a pretty thick piece of wire for this one, just since I'm bending a heavier branch. I have to order me some more thick wire. All right, so let's see where I want to anchor this. I think what I'll do is just kind of ride where these wires are already. And anchor it down here behind that branch. And then loosely wind it around here. It doesn't have to be super tight, just tight enough to where you can move the branch. But when I can, I try to wire them a little looser just so it doesn't tend to bite in as quick. But once you get the wire on, then I'm just going to gently maneuver that over here. Hopefully not snap it. Just try to be quiet when I do this, because when I hear the cracking, I know that's it's time to stop. Yeah, I think that'll work. That kind of gives it a little better look. It's kind of swooping up there, not so straight, and it kind of brings it was out here, so it kind of brought it in closer to the tree. I'll go ahead and prune some of this branch. It's sticking up now since I bent it over. Take off some of this excess wire, get it out of the way. Yeah, and that'll help, because some of these branches will bud out here and start helping fill in the canopy too. So I think that'll work. this top down just a little bit. Reposition this a little bit more. Yeah, I think that'll work. In the front, looks decent. I think we've got the nice rounded canopy look. From the side, not as good, but it'll work. It'll fill in. Yeah, I think that'll do it for this session anyway. So let me give you a quick spin around. There's the front. There's the left side. There's the back. Right side. And back to the front. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.